When's the last time you got a text and it was like, sorry, girl, I just saw this? Mind you, the text in question has been left unopened for 2 weeks. I feel like we are entering this really funny stage in friendships that they're becoming less and less high stakes stressful. And what I mean by that is if you think back to like growing up, I think there was a lot of like qualities and traits that you needed to have to be like friends with somebody, right? You needed to have similar interests. You needed to have like similar schedules. Like, oh my gosh, let's have the same lunch. Like the idea of like it being such a legally binding contract and also like something that you could drop in a heartbeat. As soon as I like disagreed with somebody or as soon as like we weren't seeing eye to eye, I remember coming to my mom and being like, I don't know if I can be around her anymore. And my mom's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. She says she like waffles more than pancakes. My mom's like, okay, girl, like, like be serious for a second. But like, honestly, if you think about it, there is so many like qualities and things about friends that just like aren't quite as serious in our minds anymore. I think without a doubt, the most important things about a friendship is that y'all can laugh together, you feel connected, you feel seen, you feel heard. I think you just want to know that that person is in your corner and also you are showing the other person that, you're in their corner. I think a big thing of maturing that I've realized is that friendship is like a two-way street. Chances are if I am so worried about how that person engages with my life or listens to me or shows up for me, that it's like I'm overdue in showing them that I'm in their corner, right? And especially now, like I feel like there's so many friends that aren't exactly coming to you with the highest stakes or like worry or concerns. Like it's just very chill. So I want to say that there's a rise in low stress friendships. Immediately your head is going to be like, girl, maybe that's just a bad friend or maybe that's just like not really your friend. But hear me out. Something about acknowledging as you get older that people around you have lives too. Getting intertwined in someone's life is one of the biggest like privileges and honors, and it's amazing. And it feels so good to feel included. It feels so good that they want to spend time with you or they want to do things with you. And it can be things as simple as like inviting you to lunch or inviting you to go shopping or like whatever it is. Like, wow, you could have just done that by yourself, but you want to do it with me. Like there is a like honor to be codependent, right? There's an honor to that. I have some friends that I know they're going through something if they want to hang out because we don't hang out that often. I have some friends that want to hang out way more than like I typically want to hang out with people, and I kind of give them that because I understand they're like going through a hard time, or maybe they're at the place that like, they just are really wanting to be out of the house or something like that. Especially with like how seasonal depression is like whooping our ass right now. Like we're almost out. Like girl, we're almost out. We're almost to spring. We're almost to summer. And then everyone and their dog is going to be outside. It's going to be so nice. But like, I understand right now that the like uptick in people wanting to do things and go out and like, fucking, fly to Jamaica. I'm like, I understand it's because everybody's bored and low key depressed right now. So I'm like, I hear you. But I have all of these different friends that are on different like wavelengths about what it means to be friends. And what I've realized that's the common thread with people I'm really close with, and then maybe friends that I don't talk to as much, is the level of urgency or the level of understanding that we give each other. I have so many people that, and I'm sure you can feel me on this, we don't have to talk all the time. And we don't have to constantly text each other, constantly call each other, constantly FaceTime. It's a check-in every now and then. But when we see each other in person, girl, it's like life-changing. It is like life changing every time. And we like literally cannot get over like the fact that like, wow, we don't have to talk every day. And matter of fact, like it's actually kind of nice to see that person because it's like, wow, I haven't told you everything. So like when I see you face to face, like we're going to have a lot to like yap about. And I love that. But there's another side to that that's like a lot of times those people that you don't talk to every day are like your most like loyal ass friends. And just because you don't talk every day, if you hit them up with something that is like really urgent, they will drop everything to come to your favor. And I think it's the same vice versa. So when I started making friends like that, I think it brought this question into my head that was like, oh, wow, like, what do you mean that we don't have to talk every day to be close? There is a level of anxious attachment that I think we were operating when we were younger in our relationships that it was like, to me, a good friend is someone that knows every fucking waking move of what I do, right? And also knows my history, knows my story, knows fucking what I want for breakfast, knows what happened when I was 5 years old and I went on vacation and what character I met at Disney World when I was 6. I'm like, girl, that bubble has been popped because of the fact of the friends that I made in college that did not know shit about high school and the friends that I have made as an adult that don't know shit about college. And I just want to say, high school, college, and now, and sure, my upbringing pre-high school are all very important chapters. And I think for you too, like you can think of like core memory things that happened to you or that you were involved with, that you made friends out of those situations. You and your friends had inside jokes about those situations. And that I believe that was like our identity. It was like our core identity was the fact that we were those things. But then you make friends outside of those situations. I make friends in college and don't tell them anything about high school, and we're just as close. So I'm like, wow, so friendship might not mean that you need to know everything. You just know right now. So that kind of opened me up that I'm like, okay, so that's interesting because I think we're kind of fed this, I don't want to call it a lie, but I think we're fed this narrative that the people that we meet when we're kids are like going to be the only people that we have in our entire lives. And I think there's a big fear about like moving to a different city or like moving schools or transferring or being homeschooled. Like there's all these fears that it's like, girl, like this is my cheetah girls. Like these are my family. This is my sisters. So the second I'm not with them, one, who am I? And two, will I ever make another friend again? And I think one of the first times that we're forced into a different circle, a different trust, whatever, is when we go to college. And I want to do a sidebar really quick because I know this is probably like something that a lot of y'all can relate to as well. You might still be friends with everyone that you grew up with. And also, your college friends to a degree might also be your high school friends. And your college friends might be your adult friends that you're currently roommates with. Your fucking roommate might be somebody that you hung out when you were 5 years old. Just because it's not my experience, I want to take a moment and respect that. Because I think sometimes friendship is all-encompassing for people, and I think friendship sometimes is forever for people, and that it follows you to every era, and that, you know, you don't really need new circles because you have the consistent circle. I think we always meet new people, but they might not be core group. Because if your core group from high school is still your core group today, hey, power to you. But I know for me, I have met equal to that core group people in all stages of my life. So let's say I've got 2 or 3 from here, 2 or 3 from here, and 2 or 3 from here, right? So the person I met 4 months ago, I spend just as much time talking to, updating, spending time with, thinking of as the person that I spent diapers with and the person that I spent college gen eds with. Who knows, right? But for some of us, that person is all of these things. That's okay too. Friendship starts to get very confusing when you're going side by side and you're operating through life where, I don't know, it's like where if they're off, you're off. And also, I think it starts to get very complicated and confusing when you've never done a chapter without that friend. So friendship becomes synonymous with this idea of like, you are me. There are people that I feel that way with. There are people that I feel like a loss for them is a loss for me, right? That's family. And like also like them going through happy times, that is like this like immeasurable happiness for me. There's some friends that go through sad things and I'm like, oh, honey, I'm sorry. Because it doesn't hit me there, right? In the same way. Are they still friends? Like, absolutely. But I think they're not the friend that's like, boom. Like, it's like everything we go through is like major, right? And I think that's a like degree of empathy that you give to certain people, especially when we're talking about like high school friends and like people that you grew up with. Like, it's like, girl, it's a different kind of pain. It's a different kind of happiness. It's a different kind of like joy. It's a different kind of like emotion when I'm feeling what you're feeling. So there's a way that friendship can be chalant and there's a way that friendship can be nonchalant. And I think when I am talking about like a chalant friendship, like something that is truly like all encompassing and like hits you like that, it's those people that have been in all stages of your life that you are growing up with, whatever. And I'm going to say something that's a little controversial. I think sometimes being so invested in a friendship or being so invested in that person's point of view of your life or that person's steps beside yours can sometimes make you where you're not focusing on the steps that you are supposed to be taking. Because some doors that we're meant to walk through are truly for us, and you have to trust that the person that is by your side also has a door to walk through that might not be what yours is. I was very fortunate in my life to have degrees of detachment. And what I mean by that is that my high school friends did not go to the same college as me, and my college friends do not currently live in the same town as me. So I had a natural detachment as I was going. And also, I think it's just a very Libra thing to want your life to be chopped up in certain eras and like in subgroups and things like that. And like, I'll recognize that. But I'm very relieved that there is a natural evolution and break with the relationships that I'm doing. Some people, and if you relate to this, you're going to hear me out here. Some people you went to college with, you're in the same occupation as them. Fuck, there's people I know that they have their kids at the same time. And it's like, that is beautiful, but that is taking friendship to a degree that it almost starts to feel like your life is a group project. There's no place for fear. There is no place for not knowing. There is only group consensus and group mind, thought, group, hey, I'm going through something, I'm scared. Well, I just went through that last week, so here it is. And I really struggle personally to know that if I would have grown, if I was constantly attached at the hip to the people that knew me through everything. I always could call them. I always could text them. I always could reach out. I was known, and that sometimes I had very lonesome periods in college or lonesome periods living alone that I would reconnect with those people that knew me and all would be well for a couple weeks while I was searching for new people, new friends, new connections, right? It's kind of like when you're in the dating scene and you're looking and you hit up your ex one more time to say, hey, remember that time we laughed at this thing or watched that movie? And they're like, yeah. And it's like, thank you for that hit of dopamine that you like remember me. Like that you remember, and like I remember what it felt like to be loved for real. Okay, now back to the hunt, back to the dating apps, right? Like I think there is something being said about like reaching out to like past people and like, you know, getting that hit of like being known. But I think there's a thing of being too known, right? I think there's a thing of being too expected. I think there's a thing of being too counted on. I think there's a thing of being too held back by what others expect or need from you. And I've really been struggling with this, guys. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, and be very vulnerable here. Like, honest to God, I have really been struggling with the idea of, am I bad for craving intentional detachment? And am I bad for craving a degree of friendship with people where I know I love and care for them, but I know that their decisions are not holding me back. And their decisions are not anchoring me to something that I feel that I need to base the decisions on my personal life growth and journey on what their decisions have been. Because when you're operating at a state of empathy that you really feel like their life is your life, if they're not willing to move, I'm not sure I can, right? If they're not really feeling leaving their job, I'm not quite sure I want to leave mine. Because going up on the diving board and jumping by yourself, girl, humiliating, scary as shit, anxious as fuck. Where's everybody at? I'm scared. Also, everybody's on the floor by the diving board judging me because why wouldn't I just be happy at the pool? But when you go up on the diving board with 12 people and you're the last one on the steps, you're like, well, fuck yeah, I'm going to jump. Everybody else is jumping. But the thing is, I realized that I had to be okay if all my friends were down here and I was getting up on the diving board. And I mean that as simple as going to a different college. Not applying to the colleges that they applied to. Not fucking, doing this just because everybody else is doing this. And it's not that you're like, oh my God, I want to be different. It's like, no, it's like truly, what is friendship when it's not a group project, right? What is friendship when it's not that we all have the same lunch and the same class and the same thing and the same group chat and the same, inside jokes and nicknames? It's like, what is friendship when we truly take our foot off the gas and we say, we got to figure shit out on our own? It's scary. It's scary because I think when you're at such a high level of attachment and commitment, anything less feels like a slap in the face. But that's life. Knowing that if you don't get a text every day that the love is still there. Knowing that if they plan one thing a month instead of 4, that they still fucking want me to succeed and they still want to laugh with me. It's just that life is lifing right now, honey. Life is lifing. And also, we've talked about this on the pod previously, but like the lack of like FOMO and the lack of like that them doing things in their life without me is not a commentary on what I mean to them. It's just us doing ourselves, It's just us doing what we got to do for us. Not everything is a personal slap, attack, jump, or detachment from you. And that's such an insecurity talking. And I think you have to acknowledge that. But one of the biggest things that I did to make this divide between what friendship used to mean to me and what it means now is I had a talk with them. And I said, hey, I am not always the best texter and I'm not always available, but I always care. And I always think of you. And I know that sounds like this bare minimum excuse, but I had to set a boundary of I cannot physically or mentally handle being needed and being expected to show up to roll call in the same way that I could when I was 15, 16, 17, 18. I can't go out in the same capacity that I was going out. I can't spend the same money that I was spending. I can't be constantly available to take a FaceTime or a call. Now, if I just said that and left it there, that's like, are you sure you want to be my friend? What I offered and what I brought to the table was, can we just like give each other a heads up and say, hey, I'd love to call later tonight, or hey, when works for you, or whatever? Because I'm going to do a sidebar. When somebody schedules a call for me, a lot of times that stresses me the fuck out. But it also stresses me the fuck out when they call me unprompted. Is that like fair to say? Like, damn, can we do anything anymore? But like, literally, is that fair to say? Like, I think receiving a random phone call sometimes, it depends who the caller is, but I'm just like, ugh. Like, fuck, I'm in the middle of fucking groceries. I'm in the middle of fucking, I'm laying in bed. Like, I'm in the middle of like enrichment time. Like, I'm in the middle of like, fuck. Like, I don't want to call right now. Like, blah, 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 blah. And then other times I'm like, you know what? Hey, right now, do I really want to be on the phone? No. Do I know I can handle it? Yeah. And when somebody's like, can you call in 3 days? I'm like, oh, Like, it feels like The Ring. I'm like, what do you mean I will die in 7 days? I'm like, girl, I don't know if I'm going to want the call in 3 days. And then I'm one of those fucking people that when I wake up in the morning and I know I've got something at 3 p.m., whole day gone. Like, my whole day gone. Okay, so now until 3 p.m., I don't know if I got time for lunch. I don't know. When am I going to shower? Like, whatever. I'm like, guys, like, literally, like, trust me. I'm aware. I know. I get it. Thank you. And no, I am not medicated. But, like, literally, there's a part of my brain that's like, I don't want to feel like we're business casual and that we're scheduling everything. But I also can't be like the I'm all down for it gal like I used to be. There's got to be something in the middle. The number one thing in all of this, too, is, like, communicating. Like, literally, a lot of times what I've felt is when I do communicate that of, like, hey, like, I need to, like, talk this out about what would be ideal communication for me, or, like, hey, I might not always be able to go to everything, but, like, maybe just FaceTime me while you're there. Like, that'd be cool. Or, like, hey, like, let's do, like, a group FaceTime and catch up. Like, whatever that is, like, when I communicate that, I feel in the clear because I'm like, at least I didn't go ghost. Because sometimes when I get stressed or when I feel like I'm expected to be something or do something or show up something, girl, I go ghost. Truly. And there's a lot of, like, grace that's given when you show up to the plate, no matter how uncomfortable it is, and you just actually show up and you're like, here's what I'm thinking, here's what I'm struggling with. I want to just communicate, like, what I can do and can't do in our friendship. Not everything has to be, like, contractual and this, like, crazy feeling vibe, but, like, I think that's better sometimes than just, like, being so stressed out that you go no contact. Because I've received that, y'all, and I've given that, where you just expect too much or our communication styles quite aren't, like, meeting the same, or, like, I'm not feeling heard or whatever. Sometimes it's just like, okay, actually it would just be easier if I just, like, go no contact. And I hate that. I hate that that's an option, but sometimes you just feel like it's easier than having to explain or, like, be babied in some way, or that you're, like, bringing something to the table that just feels like you don't feel like it's going to be heard or valued in some way. But, like, at least try, right? Because a lot of times when you bring that up, the person that's receiving it is like, oh, girl, yeah, I hear you. I hate scheduling calls. Or, no, I hear you. Honestly, I would love if we hung out, like, once a month or twice a month. And if we do more, that's awesome. Setting the bare minimum, right? That way, you know the level that you set your friendship at, you're not going to be disappointed by it, right? This is the level that we can proceed where I will not be disappointed. And if we do more, I will be pleasantly surprised. It's a little treat, right? Like, they were good. Something very, very, very alarming that I've noticed is that when things take effort, I feel like there's a completely, like, retraction. And I think it's because if anywhere is going to have stress in our lives, we would hope it's not going to be a fucking friendship. But, girl, friendships are not easy, especially when you're an adult. When you get older, you have less time for just about everything, and everything in the world stresses you out more than it previously did. So, of course, you're going to feel less attached to your fucking friends from high school. Because, girl, I would jump out a plane if Bill Nye told me to. I don't give a fuck. Like, I literally back in the day was like, anything anyone wanted to do, I was a down motherfucker. So I was like, let's do it. And I was always, like, getting everybody out their comfort zone. I'm like, let's go. Let's drive to Miami. Like, let's see how we do it, right? Where now, if someone's like, you want to go to dinner? I'm like, what happened to her? Right? But also, if I'm saying what happened to her, imagine what your friends are thinking. Your friends are like, God damn, like, fuck, I hate when he asked me to go to dinner. Yeah, girl, let's go. It's like, how about you share with me that part of your brain that's like, fuck, I hate going to dinner? Because if we both hate going out to dinner, girl, come over and we'll order a fucking pizza here. Like, if you hate it, oh, chances are I probably hate it too. Or if I didn't know you hate it, but I just assume that you like going out because that used to be our thing, I'm like, hey, let's go out. And they're like, yeah, of course. And then they're rolling their eyes and go home at 9 p.m. that night. I'm like, baby, clearly we need to adjust like what our love language, like what our fucking unspoken communication is. Because if you're like, you know what, I just don't really like going out anymore. I'm like, girl, okay. I was forcing myself to go out for your ass. So let's fucking stay home. Like, that's the funny shit. It's like if you really have the conversation and you communicate that, chances are they're on the same wavelength, or it's a wavelength that you can adjust to. I talked about this before on the pod, but like the idea of forcing your coffee shop friend to go to the club, oh my God, nails on a chalkboard for both of us, because you're going to be rolling your eyes. You're not going to be having a good time. I'm going to be like, fuck you. And then the friend is going to be like, fuck this motherfucker, because all he wants to do is want to go out with me and I want to go to the coffee shop. If you communicate, listen, I can go to the club and I'll make it work, but I would probably have more fun with you just chatting at a fucking coffee shop. I'm like, oh. Well, I've got Chelsea and Amber over here that love to go club and don't like going to the coffee shop. And if you are the coffee shop person, there's a side of me that maybe loves going to the coffee shop alone. But I'm like, you know what? When I plan on going to the coffee shop alone on Wednesday, how about we go together? I got plenty of times I can go to the coffee shop alone. So you want to go to the coffee shop? You know what? Let's do that. Hey, I really hate going out late because I feel like it fucks up my morning. So I would like to go out earlier in the day. You know what? Let's do that, girl. One of my friends the other day texted me and he was like, I feel like the only plans I get invited to is the club. And I was like, you are so right. I really feel like that's something that I've realized too, is like a lot of times what I am recommending for the other person to go do, they're not even about that anymore. And I'm like, oh, like let's figure out what our new love language is, right? Let's figure that out. Something about meeting people where they're at in friendships is really powerful, but also I think accepting that friendships can change. Friendships can pivot. Friendships can fucking merge. Friendships can turn into something else where you don't talk that much. Friendships can go from stressful to low stress if you just have like 2 conversations. I really feel I really feel like we're in this new age though where like friendships, like we have to show up honest. You always see in like the Disney Channel movies and everything that like friendships is about like a pack, that like every person serves a different purpose, and this person's the planner and this person's the follower and this person's this. And it's like, that is cute and all, but if I am truly like stressed at the idea of hanging out with someone that I truly love, I'm like, what is stressing me? And I'm like, oh, there's like a hidden agenda that I think in the back of my head that they're going to want me to go here, or they're going to want me to like stay out later than I want to stay, or they're wanting me to like go and dance on the tables. And I'm just like, yeah, that was me when we used to hang out 4 years ago, but that's not me now. Right? And I think coming to terms with that, girl, it starts to make you feel like you are ancient. Like, girl, you are dust, right? You start to feel very ancient when you talk like that. But also at the same time, it's like, I want to set us up for success. And I know when I'm upset that you call, it's not because I don't love you and appreciate you. It's because I'm stressed at what you're about to have us fucking doing. Or I'm stressed that we hung out every week. Or I'm stressed that I really feel like I need more alone time in my week. So I really can only handle like hanging out twice a month and not every day. But I got to communicate that because it's coming from a place of love. It's not coming from this place of like, fuck you, I don't want to hang out with you. Sometimes it is, I'm sure, like for some people, right? Like you probably feel that. But like it's truly probably coming from a place of just like, I love you, but girl, we got to alter this a little bit. Like, we got to change this from here to, like, over here. We're still together. And, like, the first couple times will probably be a little awkward or a little different, right? But it's going to be, in the long run, more enjoyable for you. And then you just have to see if it's more enjoyable for them. But chances are, if whatever you were doing was causing you that much stress when you were hanging out with them, or, like, the frequency you were hanging out, you were probably given sourpuss. So when you do change to something more catered to, like, maybe best for both of y'all, they're probably just going to enjoy being around a more active and more excited and more energetic version of you because you're actually like participating in something that you're like looking forward to, opposed to feeling like you're cornered or like forced into something. There is this idea that friendship is about sacrifice, and I agree with that. But once you have a foundation built with your friends, you guys have more than enough flexibility in your relationship that you can alter some things that neither of you have to sacrifice that much, right? Like, neither of you have to sacrifice too much. I think it's just small little tweaks to what you guys do and where you go and the time of day you hang out, like, sure. But if you feel like it is literally like being sent off to war every time you're going to hang out with somebody, it's like, one, they might not just be the right person. Like, you might not just be good friends with them. Like, that's not a good friend option for you. But the other thing is, like, maybe there's just something that you have to, like, change about your guys' dynamic and everything will make sense. There are people that I have distanced myself from just because I felt like they were putting me through too much fucking stress. And what I mean, my boy smells. Girl, it's literally called Rosy Cheeks. Like, not sponsored, but also, like, this, a good perfume. My God. Like, literally a good perfume. Just on a side thing, like, one of my favorite parts about spring and one of my favorite parts about, like, starting to go out is putting sunscreen on myself, the Sunbum fucking sunscreen. I love having that smell in the air. And, like, lately I've been spending so much time in my own, like, humble abode that, like, I will put a little, I don't know if this is, like, okay. It's probably, like, flammable and, like, really bad for the environment. Like, I'm really sorry. But, like, I put sunscreen in the air sometimes when I'm here. And, like, a little perfume on the blanket. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh, my God, like, it's summer. But it's, like, low-key 35 out. That's another thing about this whole friendship arc. We're going to get to the point, I promise. That's another thing about this whole friendship arc. Girl, nobody wants to go out right now. Nobody wants to fucking do anything. And also, none of us feel like ourselves because it is so, like, shit. This is, like, the actual worst part of the year. And it's so funny because my partner is always like, this is my favorite part of the year. And I'm like, okay, listen, like, I hear you, but how the hell are you on and everybody around us, like, wants to die? Like, you, like, literally, like, who wants to die? Like, raise your hand. Like, I literally feel like everyone I'm around is, like, miserable because we cannot quite get there. And I don't know what the weather is where you're at, but, like, literally, like, it'll be 70 degrees here and then it's 35 the next day. And I'm like, one, I'm sick. Like, I'm actually sick. Like, I am mucused right now. But number two, like, I literally will get the will to live. And then the next day I'm like, will and grace. Like, I'm like, it's all gone. Like, I don't understand why the fuck it's happening so much. It's these damn AI data centers, low key. I don't care. I'm gonna blame it. I'll blame everything on that. Literally, like, the way the weather is changing so much, and that's kind of leading to me canceling so many plans and not wanting to go anywhere and being so frustrated when people reach out to me because I'm like, I feel like shit. I feel like shit. And it's awful out. Let's go to this place and walk here. I don't want to walk anywhere. Let's go here. I literally feel sick. Let's go here. I don't want to wear a winter coat and sweat, and I hate when I fucking put my winter coat on and then I go in another place and then I start sweating and then I step out and I'm too cold. I'm getting nauseous. I feel horrible. I will see y'all when we reach that hibernation period and I step out for the first time, sometimes in April and May. That's going to happen, right? But March, I need everyone to fuck off. Like, I need everybody to fuck off. And that's how you know I really love you for real, because if I have stepped out in the, like, season that we're in right now, I really love you. Because I don't love myself right now. Like, literally, like, you ever, like, need to change everything? Like, I had to change everything in my room. I had to, like, literally, like, change my whole life around. I had to get new clothes out, like, whatever. Like, I'm trying to trick the groundhog and trick the season into thinking that it's, like, a new fucking chapter because I'm, like, so ready for, like, a change right now. I'm going insane. So, yeah, that's kind of part of it too. I really feel like I'm not even, like, mad for real or, like, upset at my friends or, like, wanting a change for real. I'm just actually, like, so upset with myself because I feel, like, detrimentally, like, being beat around by the fucking weather pattern that we're experiencing outside. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, the whole world pissed off, but, like, literally that's how I feel. Like, a whole house mad. I'm just like, girl, like, I actually don't want to go anywhere. And every time I get a text, I'm like, is this really worth it? Like, is it even worth it to go where I'm getting asked to go? But when it's the summer, oh man, I'm out. Like, I'm outside completely. Like, it's a whole different thing. Like, it's a whole different thing. But, like, just right now, I'm just, like, Girl, I gotta be honest with you. There was like a fucking like stem that I had for a while that was all about this idea of like there was this vocal stem I had for a while, and it was when Sandy walks back in to Rizzo in Greece, and she's like, "You making fun of me, Riz?" You know what I'm talking about? Because Rizzo is like acting the fuck out of "Look at me, I'm Sandra D." Which, like, also, if you guys have not watched Grease live, that's my homework for you. Oh, Carly Rae Jepsen, what would we do without you? But, like, genuinely, if you have not watched Grease live, I need you to watch Grease live. Damn, that's some good fucking TV. They don't do those live musicals anymore, and I really wish they bring them back. Oh my God, when Ariana was in Hairspray. But no, Grease live, one of my favorite vocal stems is when Sandy walks back in and Rizzo's like impersonating her. And she's like, "You making fun of me, Riz?" And then she's like, "Oh," and whatever. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what that has to do with fuck all we're talking about today. Bitch, brain fried. But we somehow are talking about Rizzo. Huh? Trying something new? Well, yeah, sort of, kind of. I'm like, the idea of making fun of me, Riz, I don't know where that stems from. That honestly sounds like a great theologian or like psychologist came up with that. Like one of the great thinkers of our time thought of that line. Not the Rizzler, honey. Rizzo. Everybody in Greece ancient. Can we do a Greece episode? Everybody in Greece like low key ancient. If you look at like the pictures of the people and that was supposed to be high schoolers, I'm like, oof. No, fully. Like those are like the people. Those are like the people that like want to date high schoolers at your local like hometown bar. Can I say that? John Travolta, girl. John Travolta. I can't look at John Travolta the same. Hairspray. I don't want to talk about John Travolta right now. I feel like that's like talking about creepypasta. You know what I'm saying? But literally, like, no, part of my brain, oh my God, I'm like brain fried right now. Like, guys, like, are you ever been this brain fried? We talked about friendships too much. And like, I'm going to be honest, like when we talk about a low stress friendship, one of the reasons I love a low stress friendship is you can just turn your brain off. Like, we can just stare at each other for real. I just went with one of my friends to New York City, girl. Hey, Caroline, how you doing? And we went to New York and we went out and we looked at each other and we said, "You care if I play on my phone?" I'm like, "Girl, hell no. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I want to play on my phone right now because we are going out tonight. We're going to a dinner later. We're going to be expected to shake hands with the first lady and everyone in the whole entire world tonight. Like, we're literally going to have to hold babies and, like, do the whole thing." I'm like, we're about to be fucking outside tonight. If you just want to sit in the park and eat a bagel and stare at the fucking wall with me and not talk, be my guest. Be guest, like literally be our guest. Like I was like, actually, that would be the best thing ever right now. But I had friendships in the past that I could not do that with. Oh, absolutely. I think all of my friends, like back in the day, like I felt like I needed to be standing on my head for things to go well. What's a thing that you've noticed? What's an expectation? What's a period in your life where you've noticed your expectations in friendship change? Honestly, I feel like my expectations in friendship started to change when I realized that like I'm a factor at play. Because before, like I would put myself on the back burner to make like every relationship work. And like if I didn't want to go somewhere but they all wanted to go, I would just go. Where now I'm like I've learned the beauty of saying no to plans. And I'm kind of like, actually, I don't want to go there. Actually, I can stay in tonight and we'll still be friends at the end of the day. And also like I need to like not overextend myself or like hyperextend my entire life just to make the friends that I have like stick around. It's like realistically, if you feel like if you stay home from a function that you're going to lose that friendship, they were never your friend to begin with. Girl, exactly. I don't know how many times I've had friends of mine tell me that they were like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing on Friday," and then they will cut me off and they'll be like, "But I had a feeling that you didn't want to go, so I didn't pitch it to you." And I'm like, "Girl, what was it?" And they're like, "Oh, it's actually Glee night at the." I'm like, "Okay, well," and I love Glee, and I love Glee. There are certain things, and I'm just going to say it. There are certain things that bring out a certain type of individual. And what I'm saying is when I go to a club, I want to hear those club classics. And when I go to a club, I want to be around people that know how to act inside of a club. There are certain functions, themed nights, and events that when I go to a club, there are people that have never stepped foot in a club there that night. And I am so happy for them. But for my sanity and patience and understanding, I cannot be in a line at a bar waiting behind someone that's like, what is in a vodka soda? Like, what soda is it? I'm like, God bless your heart. I need to be with the troopers, the Marines, the veteran discount. I need to be in the bar with people that have been like, yeah, we got to do this bar episode because listen to me. I sound like I need to go to a meeting right now. But like, I like to be around people that know how to navigate the bar. So when I see those like events where people are like, club etiquette is like so important, and like bar etiquette is so important, that when you're around people that are like don't know personal space, or like throwing elbows, or like spilling their drinks on you, or like screaming in your ear, or like they are being like flirty and not understanding boundaries because they've never been in a club setting before, I'm like, I'm gonna save myself the anxiety and stay the fuck home. Because that has been something I've noticed too, that like there is certain nights that you'll go out and it's just like you're around people that literally are just like not understanding like how things go in a nightlife setting. And I don't know, that just stresses me out because I'm like, I'm really happy that they're having a good night. But at the same time, like I know that they are being treated really shitty by other people. Because have you ever been to like a concert or something and you like accidentally elbow somebody and they look at you like that? Like especially gay bars, when you go to gay bars, if someone is acting outside of what the perceived norm is for that bar, and what I mean is like they're really dancing, or like they're really like fucking like loud as hell, like throwing elbows, like having a good time, like dancing, not like this. I'm talking like poo, 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 poo. You see everybody start to give them like dirty looks and everything. And if they're taking too long at the bar, or if they're like, there's just a lot of things that I've noticed that I know where my patience lays at, and I need to be at like a quiet martini bar, or I need to be somewhere that like it's a night without hiccup. It's a night that's just like, it's typicals, it's regulars, it's people that know how this shit works. That's why I refuse to go to those damn Club 90s events. I refuse. Like, I'm sorry, I refuse. Especially because they are 18 plus. Girl, I am not in a fucking fraternity anymore, sorority anymore, or better yet, drinking in somebody's mom's basement anymore. And I'm like, I can't do that shit. The last Club 90s event I went to, girl, if you're here, I'm going to lose my mind. One of my friends got the X on her hand, and she went in the bathroom, washed the X off, took somebody's wristband from the trash can because we got there kind of late in the night, and proceeded to get us all shots. I'm like, girl, you are 19. 19, you're a queen. Like, I'm literally like, wow. That was a moment. That was truly a moment. Okay, anyway, love you all bunches. Meet people where they're at. Set your friends up for success, and know that you, if you haven't found your group yet, you're going to find them. And that if you currently have a group of friends and it's not working, maybe you just need a slight redirection and a slight recategorization, and y'all are going to be grooving just fine. I love you guys, and I will see you next Monday.